Namaskar. Hey friends, so today I am going to start my new YouTube channel or my first YouTube channel whose name is The Banking Beast. Now, what is the motive behind starting this channel? The basic motive behind starting this channel is to provide assistance to the students in four different sections. And what are those sections? Those sections are daily current affairs and general awareness or banking awareness. The second section comes up with the quant. We'll be discussing different types of questions in quants. The third section comes is reasoning section. We'll also be discussing or we'll also be practicing different kind of puzzle arrangements or setting arrangements. And the fourth section is English language. We also try to cover up the Hindu editorials as well as the comprehensions. So I believe that this channel is going to help you in many ways, and it will definitely boost your confidence before going to the examination. Now, we are going to start the first video with a lecture of general awareness or the current affairs for the day 1st of August 2020. Now, let us start this section or let us start this video. Before starting this video, I would like to request all of you to kindly subscribe my channel, and if you like the content, please like the video also, and please share it with your friends so that we can attain lots and lots of people and we can help lots and lots of people. Thank you very much. So let's start this video. So the first news for today is related to BRICS. Now we all know what is BRICS. BRICS is an organization or it's a collection of 5 different countries. And what are those countries? The first one is Brazil, the second one is Russia, third one is India, fourth is China, and fifth is South Africa. Now, what is the important news related to BRICS? So Russia has chaired 6th BRICS Environment Ministers meeting. Now BRICS undertake different kind of issues like defense, economy, environment, etc. So this time BRICS undertook the environment ministers meeting. And what was the edition? कौन सा एडिशन था ये 6th एडिशन था जिसमें ब्रिक्स इन्वायरमेंट मिनिस्टर्स की मीटिंग हुई. सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चन है कि कौन सा नंबर का एडिशन था. तो ये 6th एडिशन था और ये हेल्ड कहाँ हुआ? ये हेल्ड हुआ है रशिया में. तो दो क्वेश्चन हमारे जो पहले पॉइंट से तैयार हुए कि ब्रिक्स का जो इन्वायरमेंटल मिनिस्टर समिट था वो रशिया में हुआ है और वो कौन से नंबर का था? वो 6th नंबर का था. दूसरा क्वेश्चन जो इससे बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट तैयार हो सकता है कि नेक्स्ट ईयर मींस 2021 में ये समिट कहाँ होगा? तो इस समिट जो ये इन्वायरमेंटल मिनिस्टर समिट है वो नेक्स्ट ईयर इंडिया में होगा. सो इंडिया इज गोइंग टू होस्ट 2021 इन्वायरमेंटल मिनिस्टर समिट ऑफ ब्रिक्स. ओके, सो दो क्वेश्चन हमारे तैयार हो गए. नाउ from India, we all know our environment minister, and who is that environment minister? Mr. Prakash Javadekar. So Mr. Prakash Javadekar went into the meeting and he highlighted the efforts made by India in controlling air pollution. So Mr. Javadekar went into the meeting and he highlighted the issues related with the air pollution in India, and he also highlighted the efforts made by India in controlling air population. He also listed a scheme or a program called NCAP. Now NCAP is a most important question that can be asked in your banking examination. What is NCAP? National Clean Air Program. National Clean Air Program. The full form of NCAP is National Clean Air Program. So Mr. Javadekar highlighted NCAP, through which India could control the air pollution. Okay, so 3 or 4 questions which are being prepared by the first point is that this was the 6th edition of environmental ministers meeting of BRICS. It was held in Russia. Mr. Prakash Javadekar represented India and he highlighted the program NCAP, that is National Clean Air Program. Okay, now what are the takeaways from this news? The first takeaway is, who is the president of Russia? Mr. Vladimir Putin. Now, what is the capital of Russia? Is Moscow. And what is the currency? Is Russian ruble. So, three of the takeaways from this news is the president is Vladimir Putin, the currency is ruble, Russian ruble, and the capital is Moscow. Now, the next important news is related with Ministry of Tribal Affairs. Now, what you know that there is ministry for everything in India, and to deal and to help the people who are living in remote areas and who are called tribal people, a ministry is formed and whose name is Ministry of Tribal Affairs. So, Ministry of Tribal Affairs received a Scotch Gold Award. Now, what is this Scotch Gold Award? Now, this is Scotch Gold Award is given to any person, any event, or any mission if it helps in growth of India. समझ रहे हैं आप? स्कॉच गोल्ड अवार्ड उस इंसान या उस मिशन को दिया जाता है जो कि इंडिया के ग्रोथ में मदद करता है. तो इस स्कॉच अवार्ड में कई सारी कैटेगरीज हैं, जैसे गोल्ड, सिल्वर, एट्सेट्रा. तो इस साल का स्कॉच गोल्ड अवार्ड किसको मिला है? मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ ट्राइबल अफेयर्स को. और क्यों मिला है? सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट बात इसलिए मिला है क्योंकि उन्होंने जो ट्राइबल पीपल थे उन तक स्कॉलरशिप स्कीम पहुंचाई है इंफॉर्मेशन टेक्नोलॉजी के माध्यम से. मीन्स दे हैव बीन गिवन दिस स्कॉच गोल्ड अवार्ड बिकॉज दे हैव एम्पावर्ड ट्राइबल पीपल थ्रू IT enabled scholarship schemes. Is that clear? I hope that is clear. Now, what the next important question is, what was the edition of Scotch Gold Award? Now, it was the 66th edition of Scotch 2020. It was the 66th edition of Scotch Awards. And what was the theme of this award for this year? So let us discuss. The theme for this award this year was India response to COVID through digital governance. So what was the theme of this year's Scotch Award? Is India response to COVID through digital governance. Okay. Now, let us see or let us discuss something more about Scotch Awards. Scotch Awards शुरू कब हुए? स्कॉच अवार्ड शुरू हुए थे 2003 में. 2003 में इस अवार्ड की स्थापना हुई थी. और ये किस लिए दिया जाता है? जो भी आदमी, जो भी व्यक्ति या जो भी मिनिस्ट्री या जो भी मिशन देश के लिए ग्रोथ के लिए काम करते हैं उसके लिए ये अवार्ड दिया जाता है. एंड व्हाट वाज द एडिशन? 66th edition of this award. Now, the next takeaway from this news is, who is the Union Minister of Ministry of Tribal Affairs, and who is this? Mr. Arjun Munda. Mr. Arjun Munda is Union Minister of Tribal Affairs. Now, the next news. The next news comes from Reliance Power and JERA. Now, Reliance Power has tied up with JERA in order to set a power plant in Bangladesh. So what is the next news? Reliance Power and JERA. JERA, what is JERA? JERA is a Japanese energy company. It's a major Japanese energy company, and they have tied up. Reliance Power and JERA have tied up so that they can set up a power plant of capacity 745 megawatt. Now you have to note that what is the capacity of the power plant? It's 745 megawatt. And what, in which country it's going to be set? It is going to be set in Bangladesh. Okay, so Reliance Power and JERA is going to set a power plant in Bangladesh with a capacity of 745 megawatt. And what is the total finance? What is the total expenditure which will be invested in this? It is $642 million. $642 million will be invested by Reliance Power and JERA. Now, what are the takeaways from this news? Is who is the chairman of Reliance Power? Mr. Anil Ambani. And who is the Prime Minister of Bangladesh? Mrs. Sheikh Hasina. Capital of Bangladesh, Dhaka, and currency is Taka. Okay, so I believe we have done the three news. Now, next news. Now, this is the most important news. SIDBI, we all know. SIDBI के बारे में हम सब जानते हैं. SIDBI का फुल फॉर्म है स्मॉल इंडस्ट्रीज डेवलपमेंट बैंक ऑफ इंडिया. क्या है सिडबी का फुल फॉर्म? स्मॉल इंडस्ट्रीज डेवलपमेंट बैंक ऑफ इंडिया। और साथ में सिबिल, हम सब ने सिबिल के बारे में बहुत सुना होगा, सिबिल के बारे में हमने बहुत सुना है, सिबिल स्कोर क्या है, आपका सिबिल क्या है। सो व्हाट इज सिबिल? सिबिल का फुल फॉर्म क्या है? क्रेडिट इंफॉर्मेशन ब्यूरो ऑफ इंडिया लिमिटेड। सो सिडबी और सिबिल एक साथ आए हैं, एक साथ टाइप किया है, किस लिए? एक ऑनलाइन पोर्टल शुरू किया है जिसका नाम है एमएसएमई सक्षम। सो सिडबी हैज टाइड अप विद सिबिल to start a platform called MSME Saksham. MSME, we all know what is MSME. Now, MSME Saksham, why it has been started? It has been started in order to educate people about MSMEs, in order to educate them about the financial education of MSMEs. It will also provide MSMEs quick access to finance. So this platform, MSME Section, will also provide MSMEs quick access to finance. Now, what is the takeaway from this news? Who is the chairman of SIDBI? Chairman of SIDBI is Mr. Muhammad Mustafa. Mr. Muhammad Mustafa is the chairman of SIDBI. Now, next important news. We all know about NASA, National Aeronautical Space Administration. So NASA has tied up with ULA. And what is ULA? It's United Launch Alliance. It's a United Launch Alliance. So NASA has tied up with ULA so that they can launch Mars 2020 Perseverance rover mission. So NASA has undertook a mission named Mars 2020 Perseverance mission, and they are going to launch with the help of ULA, that is United Launch Alliance, with Atlas 5 rocket. What is the rocket? Atlas 5 rocket. And with whom help? It is going to take the help of United Launch Alliance. Now it has been launched from Florida. From which place it has been launched? It has been launched from Florida. Now we have seen that the name of the mission is Mars 2020 Perseverance rover mission. The important question comes is, what is perseverance? What is the meaning of perseverance? Now, perseverance means the quality that allows someone to continue trying even if there is lot of difficulty. Okay? परसिवरेंस का मतलब ये होता है कि किसी भी चीज़ को ट्राई करते रहना, किसी भी चीज़ के लिए ट्राई करते रहना, और उसके सामने जो है बहुत डिफिकल्टी है, उसके बावजूद ट्राई करते रहना। परसिवरेंस का मतलब ये होता है एक तरीके की एबिलिटी होती है। सो नासा along with ULA has started a mission called 2020 Mars Perseverance rover mission. We all know that going to Mars and launching a rover into the ecosystem of Mars is very difficult. So that is why it is being named as Mars 2020 Perseverance rover mission. Now, what are the important takeaways from this? The important takeaway is, who is the administrator of NASA? And he is Mr. Jim Bridenstine. Who is the administrator? Mr. Jim Bridenstine. What is the headquarters of NASA? Washington DC in USA. Okay, now let's move on to the next news. The next news is coming from Ivory Coast. You all have heard about the country Ivory Coast. Ivory Coast के बारे में आपने सुना होगा. So Ivory Coast के नए प्रधानमंत्री चुने गए हैं. A new prime minister has been elected in Ivory Coast, and the name of Mr. Prime Minister is Hamed Bakayoko. Hamed Bakayoko. I know this name is quite difficult, but let us try this. Hamed Bakayoko. Okay, he was also serving as the interim prime minister, and before this he was serving as the defense minister of the country. So who is the new prime minister of Ivory Coast? Hamed Bakayoko. Now, what are the takeaways from this news? The president of Ivory Coast, and he is Mr. Alassane Ouattara. Mr. Alassane Ouattara. Now, what is the capital? It's a quite difficult word, but we'll do it. Yamoussoukro. Yamoussoukro. Okay, the spelling is YAMOUSSOUKRO. Okay, now what is the currency of Ivory Coast? The currency of Ivory Coast is West African CFA franc. What is the currency? West African CFA franc. Now, the last but not the least news comes from Taiwan. Taiwan has been in latest news because of the conflict with China. So the former Taiwanese president, Mr. Lee Tang-hui passed away. The former Taiwanese president, Mr. Lee Tang-hui passed away. And we all know that Taiwan is very much associated with China and the conflict is going on. So in accordance with that, we need to remember this news very much. Who has been, what is the obituary? Former Taiwanese president Mr. Lee Tang-hui has passed away. He was a former president of Taiwan. Now, who is the current president of Taiwan? This is a takeaway. Now, who is the current president of Taiwan? Mr. Tsai Ing-wen. Mr. Tsai Ing-wen. The spelling is TSAI-ING-WEN. So, who is the current president of Taiwan? Mr. Tsai Ing-wen. Now, what is the capital of Taiwan? It's Taipei. 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 Okay. And what is the currency? Now, currency you may confuse because of the China conflict or the association with the China. You may think that the currency will also be the Chinese currency. No, it is not the same. The currency of Taiwan is New Taiwan dollar. What is the currency? New Taiwan dollar. Okay. So in this way, today we complete the 6 different kind of news which was in the major part of the news today. I hope you liked the video. This was my first video, so there was some fumble around. लेकिन अगर सब कुछ ठीक रहा, सब कुछ अच्छा गया, तो हम ज़रूर जल्द ही जल्द एक वाइट बोर्ड और एक फुल फ्लेज क्लास शुरू करेंगे. अगर आपको ये वीडियो अच्छा लगा हो तो आप इसको ज़रूर लाइक करें और इसको सब्सक्राइब करें इस चैनल को और इस वीडियो को शेयर करें. थैंक यू. नमस्कार.